Welcome back. The appointment wait time for a first-time non-immigrant visitor visa applicant to the United States in India has gone up to well over 700 days, which means a wait period of 2 years for those who are planning to travel to the United States. If you want to travel, you will have to wait till October 2024, 2 years from now, to obtain a visiting visa. The other issue is that Indians with H-1B visas working in America are unable to come back home for a personal visit. The reason is they're not getting timely appointments to get their visa stamped at the US consulate in India in order to return to America. There are multiple examples on Twitter where you can feel the angst of H-1B visa holders, Indians saying they're unable to visit home for medical emergencies, personal reasons, because they failed to secure an appointment date even after trying for the last 6 months. Because the fear is that if the person leaves United States to make a trip to India, the person runs the risk of losing their jobs if they're unable to make it back in time to the US within a certain period of time. So it all depends on when you get that visa appointment. We've invited NASSCOM Shivendra Singh, the Vice President and Head of Global Trade Development, to talk about this issue that, the big US great, visa appointment crunch that we are facing. Mr. Singh, morning, and thanks so much for joining in. Can you talk about the U.S. visa appointment crunch that's taking place for existing H-1B professional Indians who are out there in the U.S.? Are they really unable to come back to India? What's the situation on the ground? Is there truth to the stories that we're reading right now?
There is a challenge, and this challenge emanates from two parts. One is the area where there is an interview process required. And the moment that is required, there is a challenge and delay in that. And the second is there is a limited appointment window, as a result of which individuals are not being able to get the appointment, and hence the tremendous delays that you refer to. I think the critical issue is the work that gets hampered as a result of this. Even in terms of B1 and B2 visas, where there is tremendous delay, including, I'm told, Dropbox facilities, which was supposed to speed up things, but even there, the appointment window is short. Companies are not being able to get people on time, and as a result of which projects tend to suffer. If customer-centric locations are being talked about, there is delays there as well. And hence, a combination of, B1, B2, and H1B delays, result in a lot of work, getting delayed. And most importantly, delay to American companies, which are clients, because as you know, most of the companies work with more than Fortune 75% of Fortune 500 companies, and they may enable America to grow to be the #1 economy that it is. So this is a challenge.
Hi, Mr. Singh. Morning. Given the high traffic between India and US, especially from the IT sector, is it possible to quantify the impact in terms of number of people who might be impacted? And also, is there in some way that NASSCOM is looking to intervene in the situation?
Well, let me answer the second question first. As NASSCOM, we continue to work closely with our government, our mission in the US, and with the US Embassy here, along with the US administration in the US and the Congress. I think if you ask me, the key issue here is the talent gap. And when I look at numbers, there are 11 job vacancies in the computer occupation field for one IT worker, which is applying for that job. And this has grown from 6 in the last 1 year to 11. Similarly, there's about 1.4 million job vacancies in the computer occupation area, again, which has grown by about nearly 60%. There is a problem. Now, this problem can be bridged by two ways. One is to work on, growing the talent piece in the US, which the tech industry, in fact, has spent more than $1 billion working with nearly 130 colleges, universities to upskill and get more employees, for their workforce. And the other is short-term, high-skilled visa workers. And those numbers, in 2021 and 2022 vary a bit, and a lot of work, as you know, was work from home as well. But I think the critical issue is the non-immigrant workers play a very, very critical role till the time that the number of demand and supply matches in the U.S. And we are very, very keen that we get the demand and supply match so that the dependency on visa comes down drastically. But till that time, I think it's very, very important that we have a policy where and time frame where things can be speeded up. Otherwise, these resources, which are in very, very short supply around the world, tend to get deployed in some other countries, and then there is a challenge of a different kind as well.
Mr. Singh, but you said that projects are suffering, work is getting delayed because companies are unable to send their employees on B1, B2 or H1B visa to the United States. Have you heard from any of these big companies the work is going to get suffered? Is there an implication to the top line, the revenue growth of Indian IT companies because of this?
Well, most of the large companies are facing this issue, and companies, find their way out to resolve the issue. But the most important question to be asked here is this a problem? The answer is yes, it is a problem. We've been told that, around September, October, as we speak, things should improve, and we are really hoping that things improve and work doesn't suffer. Imagine, let us say, if we are going to be doing a program in the US in January 2023, which is CES, and a number of mid-sized and small companies who are looking at the US and are growing there require a visa. They cannot get a visa to travel for a very important conference. So these are issues which are very, very important, and hence needs to be given top priority by all concerned.
Gives you the confidence the situation will resolve in October? September has almost come to an end. You're hopeful that things get better in October?
Well, in our discussions, we've generally been told that things should improve, and we request the authorities to give this high priority, and resolve this issue at the earliest.
Also, because there has been a deluge of application, things have finally opened up. Things are back to normal. The COVID restrictions have eased. What would be the number of applicants right now versus, say, 6 months ago? Is it only because the demand has shot up, the supply? It's not that there is a technical issue from the U.S. Embassies, from the U.S. consulate. The problem is really that demand is now 3x of what it was 6 months ago.
So, there are various categories of non-immigrant visas, as you know. There is a visitor visa part, which is one, and then B1, B2, and then H1Bs as well. If you look at the numbers of H1B, I think work is still in progress, and we should, hear from that. B1, B2, is very, very important, given the fact that digital transformation is key to the success of companies around the world, and especially in the US as well. And and we need people to go there to kickstart a lot of these projects as well. So that tends to suffer, and the numbers obviously are dependent on the growth of business. And you're absolutely correct. I think there is a pent-up demand, and that's being reflected in the travel requirements which have come when the whole scenario in terms of travel relaxations have begun. So it's kind of a mix of all, which is leading to this challenge. I think ultimately, there are two things here which needs to be resolved. Number one is this limited appointment window needs to be broadened in some way or form, and the interview process needs to be streamlined and quickened in order for people to travel for the critical work that needs to be done.
Okay, Mr. Singh, thank you very much for joining us and explaining the situation on the ground. Need to get into a very short break. We'll come back with more on the markets.